Welcome to Academic Arguments, Part 5, 3 Common Mistakes. In this series about academic argument, we've talked about what an argument is, how it works in a written assignment, how evidence supports it, and how reasoning ties everything together. Now let's look at some common mistakes people make when writing arguments and what you can do to fix them. The first mistake is relying only on opinion. This is a very common mistake, and fortunately, it is easy to fix. Saying, "I think students should get more sleep," is fine as a personal thought. If left on its own, it is nothing more than an opinion. Any claim or statement that is not supported is really just an opinion. And in academic arguments, opinions are useless. We need evidence to convert a claim into a useful part of our argument. The fix is simple. When you make a claim, always back it up with premises and evidence, like research studies, data, or the findings from experts. The second mistake is listing out evidence without any explanation. It is common for writers to throw in a quote or a statistic and then move on. That leaves the reader asking, "So what? What does this all mean?" Remember, evidence listed by itself doesn't prove your point. You need to add your reasoning. This is the part where you explain why that piece of evidence supports your claim. The easy fix for this common mistake is to make sure you are connecting the dots for the reader and explaining why the evidence you are using makes sense and supports the claim and conclusion. The third mistake is using weak or irrelevant sources. A social media post, a random website, or someone's opinion on a blog is nothing more than someone's opinion. It is not evidence. Other opinions are not evidence that legitimately support your ideas. Real evidence comes from data from a research study or the findings from a subject matter expert. The best evidence is found in journal articles, since those are reviewed by other experts who test to make sure the information published is valid. If your claim matters, your sources should too. Use scholarly resources like books, academic articles, or reliable reports to keep your argument solid. An easy fix for making sure your sources are appropriate is to just look at where you do your research. Never use Wikipedia, it is not a credible source. Start with your university library. Do a search using keywords from the assignment or the course as a place to get started. And the best fix is to not use easy-to-access blog or social media sites from a simple Google search. Here's the good news. All of these mistakes can be avoided with a simple check. After you write down a claim, ask yourself a few questions. Do I have evidence from an appropriate source? Did I explain how that evidence supports my claim? And does it all connect to the point I'm trying to prove? If you can answer yes to those questions, you're building a strong argument. Let's wrap this episode up. Avoid sharing personal opinions that are not supported by evidence. Provide an explanation for all your evidence. Use appropriate sources. Do those 3 things, and your arguments will be clear and convincing.